Welcome to the Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions. I'm Jan Hall from Folk Roots Radio. Manitoba Hal believes the ukulele is a mighty instrument despite its small size, and it's perfect to play the blues. And Manitoba Hal is our special guest in the studio today, and he's coming up right now. Enjoy.
This is an old Mississippi John Hurt number. It's called Let the Mermaids Flirt With Me. Blues all in the ocean, and blues all in the air. Can't stay here no longer, I've got no steamship fare. When my earthly trials are over, cast my body out in the sea. You save those undertakers' bills, let the mermaids flirt with me. I work no more for money, and earthly peace I see no more. And the only reason that I work at all is to drive the wolf from my door. When my earthly trials are over, cast my body out in the sea. You save those undertakers' bills, let the mermaids flirt with me. Now my wife, she ruled our happy home, and my sweetheart I cannot find. The only thing that I call my own is this troubled and worried mind. When my earthly trials are over, cast my body out in the sea. You save those undertakers' bills, let the mermaids flirt with me. Said, blues all in my body now, my darling has forsaken me. And if I ever see her face again, have to sail across that sea. When my earthly trials are over, cast my body out in the sea. You save those undertakers' bills, let the mermaids flirt with me. You save those undertakers' bills, let the mermaids flirt with me. This next song is about two guys that decided to rob a carnival. It's Learned Pigs and Fireproof Women. Carnival came to this rural town. Every fool wanna lay his money down. Got a Ferris wheel, game's a chance, tunnel of love, pure romance. Men will believe what they see. You put it on a poster, they will believe. Everybody wants to hear the bearded lady sing. This sideshow's got everything. We've got learned pigs, fireproof women. Everybody pay $1 to see them. Got a piece of the one true cross, got the bones of a Union boss. Now Jake Leg Chester and Bootleg Sam were working at the carnival and they had a plan. Saturday night when the tent was full. They were gonna rob Carnival. They would grab the cash, jump a train, never come back to this town again. Hide in the bushes till they hear the bell. Grab the cash, run like hell from the learned pigs, fireproof women. Everybody pay $1 to see them. Got a piece of the one true cross. Got the bones of a Union boss. Now the bearded lady was still singing her song, and the Mississippi freight train came along. Jake Leg Chester grabbed the cash and ran. Bootleg held a gun on that ticket man. They ran for the tracks, but they missed the rail. The dog-faced boy was still chasing his tail. Stashed the cash and pay the cost. They hit it with the bones of a Union boss. Oh, yeah. Never found the money, I know it's a fact. Took those boys away, they ain't coming back. The sheriff came around looking for the dough. Well, I hid it down in my bedroll and I left that town without thinking twice. And I found my own way to paradise. Bought myself a truck and a small sideshow. And every single summer I hit the road with my learned pigs, my fireproof women. And everybody pay $1 to see them. Got a piece of the one true cross. And I got the bones of the Union boss. This next song is an accidental hit. I wrote it as a songwriting suggestion from a fan of mine. He sent me the title Tastes Like Chicken. I Googled it and wrote the song in 5 minutes thinking nobody would like it, and people love it everywhere. So here's Tastes Like Chicken. That's one of life's great mysteries no one really knows. It's a basic human question, Lord, I guess that's how it goes. But if you took a poll and you asked everyone across this nation, how come everything always tastes like chicken? How come everything, it always tastes like chicken? How come everything, it always tastes like chicken? That rabbit, turtle, cane, toad tastes like chicken. Crocodile, alligator, snake, and pigeon, everything tastes like chicken. Now, God took 7 days to create the earth and stars above. You know, he made the fish, he made the beef, and all that other tasty grub. But I wonder, on that 6th day, did he lose his imagination? How come everything always tastes like chicken? How come everything, it always tastes like chicken? How come everything, it always tastes like chicken? That rabbit, turtle, cane, toad tastes like chicken. Crocodile, alligator, snake, and pigeon, everything tastes like chicken. Now, driving across this country with the sun upon my back, I couldn't help but notice that even Kingsville has a chicken shack. In every town it's serving up something finger-licking. Lord, it's deep-fried, and I'll testify it all tastes like chicken. So how come everything, it always tastes like chicken? How come everything, it always tastes like chicken? That rabbit, turtle, cane, toad tastes like chicken. Crocodile, alligator, snake, and pigeon, everything tastes like. all tastes like chicken. This next song is Evangeline Blues, and it's an Acadian story. Evangeline, your sons and your daughters shine like a riverboat queen as she makes her way down through these clear blue waters. Yeah, prettiest sight I've ever seen. And a gambler calls out Little Joe, and he passes out rolling a 7. Me, I caught a deuce and a 32 juice, and the queen took me straight on to heaven. So I put on my Sunday clothing, I put on my church-going shoes, make my way down to the river tonight, when I'll sing these Evangeline blues. Evangeline, you wind through this country, and your waters flow straight down to the sea. And I've been a slave to these dice and a prisoner of this vice on the riverboats of Evangeline. Yes, and once you have set me free, once you have carried me away, I'll be rolling dice up in heaven tonight on the waves of Evangeline. Once you have set me free, once you have carried me away, I'll be rolling dice up in heaven tonight on the waves of Evangeline. So I put on my Sunday clothing, I put on my church-going shoes, make my way down to the river tonight, and I sing these Evangeline blues. I'll sing these Evangeline blues. I sing these Evangeline blues.
That's Manitoba Hal live for the Sun Parlour Coffee House sessions in the Quantum Sound production studio. Great having you join us again.
Thank you, Jack.
Manitoba Hal joined me actually for Folk Roots Radio a couple of years ago. We had a fabulous interview about his music. Now, he's just released a double live album. It's recorded in Belgium. It's actually entitled Live in Ghent. Fabulous, fabulous album.
Thank you.
What I'd like to do is to start the conversation by talking about how you decided you wanted to play ukulele as a blues instrument. That always fascinates me.
Oh, well, I wish I had a pithy answer that was concise and said it and really defines it. But it kind of was just this series of small choices. The first thing was that when I started playing the ukulele, I found that I was charmed by it. I enjoyed it. And I would play a little bit for my audience. I would play guitar mostly and then bring out a little ukulele for some fun. And over time, not that long a time, people just kept asking for more and more ukulele. So it got to the point where I was ending up playing ukulele most of the night and not guitar. So that was the first step. And then I was a blues guitarist, so it was natural, I think, for me to try to play the blues on the uke just because. And I still didn't think of it as my mainline instrument or anything. And then one day I was talking to Doug Cox, who is the artistic director of the Vancouver Island Music Festival. And this was going back about 7 years now. And I said, Doug, you've known me a long time. You got your finger on the pulse of what's happening in Canada and around the world because he travels and books people. I said, I'm trying to make some decisions about my career. What should I do? A lot of artists have these kind of moments. And Doug said to me in only the way that he could, he says, Hal, you're the only ukulele player I know. And so suddenly I always say the lights went on in all the corners of my room, and I realized that this was something unique, and in the music industry, unique is what you need. You need something to be your thing, whatever that is. And so that was when we made the choice to, we, meaning my manager Nicole Kolbeck and I, made the choice that I would focus exclusively on the ukulele and bring the blues to it and, make it a feature instrument instead of just a novelty.
Because I was checking out your past, getting ready for the interview again. I hadn't realized how many albums you'd actually put out because I counted 9, I think, that are still available. And then you probably had another 6 or 8 before that.
Yeah, I think the total count from when I first started recording publicly is about 16.
Now, you're originally from Manitoba. You don't live there now. I think 25 years you spent there before you moved?
25 years I lived in Winnipeg, and it's where I really got my start as a musician. The name came from a festival in Regina called the Midwinter Blues Festival that fashioned itself an international blues festival, and whenever someone performed, they would introduce them with where they were from and their name. And about the 4th time I played there, I heard them say, "Ladies and gentlemen, from Manitoba Hal Brolin." And it hit me that Manitoba Hal sounded a little bit like Mississippi John Hurt or, Mississippi Fred McDowell. And I went, there it is. Because people kept getting my last name wrong. It's not a hard name, but we in the music industry, we have to think of like brands. And if people get your brand name wrong, then you're not gaining any ground. So how do you market? And that was the first step. It's so boring.
Well, I find it fascinating.
I should say that I went out and we sacrificed a chicken under the full moon on All Hallows Eve, and I don't know. I'm making this stuff up.
I actually find it fascinating because I think that one of the things, because I do so many interviews with people, it's really interesting to understand the development, and I find that totally fascinating that, making the decision to become a uke player, developing this wonderful blues sound. I mean, we've had some great songs for you tonight, and one of the things is clear is that you really have made this your own. I mean, you are Manitoba Hal, fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Uke player, and who plays the blues. I mean, I think it's an incredible story. I got to really put a shout out for this wonderful new live album. It's a double album, as I mentioned at the start of this interview, and it's a really great introduction to your music. But not only that, I think that really captured you live. I mean, it's got a wonderful feel to it. When you listen to the album, you really actually feel like you're there. You always play solo now. You tour extensively. Are you ever likely to get back into a situation where you would want to be on the road with Anyone else?
I would love to be on the road with anyone else. I haven't found anyone that I think that I meld with perfectly, that wants to be on the road as much as I do. I just did a show last night, for example, with Amber McLean. That was a lot of fun. We did a show in
And she
Oakville.
loves to loop as well.
Yeah, well, that was why we did it. We put
Yeah.
this thing together, and we did combine our looping, so we were both looping stuff on the same track, and
Right.
it was a very interesting experience. I would say that I would love to have a band. The challenge is finding people that you get along with, that you can hang with, and it's hard. I mean, every time I get someone in Canada, for example, that I work with for a while, then I go off and do a couple of months overseas. We aren't making enough money that I'm taking these people with me, and then they go off and do other things, as they should. So I think that's part of the problem, is I need to find someone that I can make a permanent commitment to, for that to happen, and that can make that kind of commitment to me. I guess I'm Fred Eaglesmith looking for my Willie P. You know, I need that kind of a partnership, and I haven't found it yet.
Yeah. So you got the new live album that came out this year. A couple of years ago, you released the wonderful Dancing in the Moonlight album, which I absolutely love as well. What does the future hold? What are your future plans?
We're currently writing songs, trying to come up with more material to do another album. We haven't really got a plan. I keep saying we. I'm referring to Nicole Colbeck, my manager at Little Acorn Music Management. We make all the decisions together. We haven't really got a plan for the next record. Right now, I've got about a half dozen songs that are kicking around that I think will end up being recorded, but I need to have a lot more before we go into the studio. We recently shot a video at Grant Avenue Studios in Hamilton, and really enjoyed the experience there. So that's one possibility for the recording location, but even that is not certain. It's an interesting time for artists, because more and more people are putting more effort into a YouTube video and one song singles than albums. My audience, though, mostly still buy CDs. And so I'm sort of weighing all of this and trying to come up with what's the right move for how. Right now, without a firm date, we're tentatively planning a release in 2018, but we'll see.
If people want to learn more about your music, how can they do that?
ManitobaHal.com, ManitobaHal.com has all the information about me, how to book a workshop with me, how to book a Skype lesson. I do lessons via Skype for people who are in remote locations or can't get to where I am. You can see my entire touring calendar. There's links to my YouTube channel. There's some videos that I feature on the site. So just about everything you need to know is there.
It's been great to have you join us. We've got time for one more song. What are you going to play?
Why don't we do some old Robert Johnson? We'll do Sweet Home Chicago.
That sounds perfect. Manitoba Hal, Sun Parlour Coffee House Sessions. Great.
Thanks, Jen. So this next song is Robert Johnson's Sweet Home Chicago, and it's a slightly different arrangement because, of course, I'm playing ukulele, not guitar, and et cetera, but I think you'll enjoy it. I said, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? I said, hey, don't you wanna go? Back that same old place, oh, that's my sweet home, Chicago, yeah. And now 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4. Watch out there, Jan, you know I'm booked, I gotta go. And I said, hey, don't you wanna go back that land of California? That's my sweet home, Chicago, yeah. Now 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 2 is 6.
Better watch out, Gary, you'll get in trouble. All in a fix, and I said, hey, don't you wanna go, yeah. Back that land to California, that's my sweet home, Chicago, yeah. Now 4 and 2 is 6, 6 and 2 is 8. Honey child, you better not make me late. I said, hey, don't you wanna go, yeah. Back that same old place, that's my sweet home, Chicago, yeah. Yeah, now 6 and 2 is 8, and 8 and 2 is 10. You know, Stu, if I make a mistake, they make me play the song again. I said, hey, hey, don't you wanna go, yeah. Back that land of California, that's my sweet home, Chicago, yeah. And I said, hey, 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 don't you wanna go? That same old place, that's my sweet home, Chicago, yeah. Back that land of California, that's my sweet home, Chicago, yeah. Back that same old place, that's my sweet, sweet home, Chicago.